March 1944. The dense, oppressive jungles of northern Burma hide every sound, except the faint hum of insects and the distant rumble of artillery. British and Indian forces are pressing north, attempting to cut the Japanese supply lines along the Irrawaddy River. Amid the tangle of bamboo and teak, a young Indian sniper, Rifleman Hari Singh, moves silently. He is with the 14th Punjab Regiment, deployed under the 33rd Indian Infantry Division, cast with harassing Japanese positions near the Shuijian Hills. Hari Singh is small in stature, unremarkable in appearance, but his eyes are trained, cold, and calculating. He carries a Lee Enfield No. 4 MKI sniper rifle, fitted with a makeshift telescopic sight, an artifact of field ingenuity. His team spreads along the ridge, each soldier blending with the shadows of trees and fog that creep in with the morning light. The Japanese forces, seasoned and ruthless, have entrenched themselves in camouflaged bunkers, relying on the dense undergrowth to shield their movements. Hari Singh positions himself on a steep incline, the wet earth and fallen leaves muffling every step. He waits, heart steady, breath shallow. Hours pass as the sun rises, casting fragmented light through the canopy. From his vantage point, he observes the enemy patrols, memorizing their routines, their pauses, and most importantly, their weak points. His plan is not brute force, it is deception, a ghost bullet trick, a tactic whispered among veteran snipers but rarely executed at such scale. He rigs a line of tripwires, connected to small explosive charges, scavenged from abandoned ammunition crates. The idea is to create the illusion of bullets appearing from nowhere, unnerving the Japanese soldiers, making them think the ridge itself is alive with death. As the first patrol approaches, the tension tightens. Hari's finger rests lightly on the trigger, eyes narrowing. The soldiers move cautiously, unaware that every step may trigger a deadly response. The jungle seems to hold its breath. A twig snaps, a slight movement in the undergrowth. The first explosion goes off, not lethal, just enough to make a soldier duck. Confusion ripples through the enemy ranks. Hari waits. Then the second shot, precise, silent, takes the lead scout. Panic spreads. Communication falters. The Japanese men hesitate, trapped between the fear of unseen sharpshooters and the treacherous jungle terrain. From the ridge above, Hari Singh surveys the scene. His mind calculates trajectory, distance, and timing with clinical precision. One by one, the soldiers fall into the pattern he has orchestrated. The ghost bullets seem everywhere, appearing from thin air, each trigger, each crack, each sudden death amplifying terror. The fog thickens, carrying the muffled screams across the valley, masking the snipers' movements. By midday, more than 40 enemy soldiers lie incapacitated or dead, unable to comprehend how a single rifleman has inflicted such devastation. Yet Hari Singh does not linger. He knows that the jungle is merciless, and even a master of concealment is vulnerable. As the smoke drifts through the trees and the cries fade, he slips deeper into the undergrowth, leaving behind only the echo of his deadly ingenuity. The enemy is disoriented. Reinforcements will be coming, but will they ever discover the source of the phantom fire? The tension is palpable. The Japanese command scrambles. Unseen and unbroken, Hari Singh prepares for what comes next. The afternoon sun barely penetrates the thick canopy as Hari Singh moves silently through the undergrowth. Every step is calculated. The Japanese, still reeling from the phantom attack, send out small reconnaissance parties to locate the mysterious sniper. Hari observes from a shallow depression, his body pressed to the damp earth. The smell of wet leaves mixes with the acrid smoke of the earlier explosions. He watches as the enemy struggles to reorganize. Officers shout orders in hurried Japanese, their words lost in the jungle. Soldiers stumble over roots and fallen logs, tension radiating through their ranks. Hari knows that patience, more than skill with the rifle, will win this fight. Each breath he takes is measured. Each movement is deliberate. He checks the angle of his scope, calculates wind and distance, and then waits for the perfect moment. The next wave of Japanese soldiers approaches a ridge near a small stream, a choke point that Hari has studied for hours. The terrain funnels them into a narrow path, where his ghost bullet illusion will be most effective. He sets additional tripwires, small charges tied to branches that hang just above head height. The first soldier steps forward, and the branches snap, releasing smoke and startling the men. Panic spreads instantly. They fire blindly into the trees, the sound echoing across the valley, but hitting nothing. Hari's patience holds. A young Japanese private, separated from his group, freezes in terror. Hari's finger tightens on the trigger. One shot silenced by the thick jungle drops the soldier without warning. The others see their comrade fall and hesitate, believing an invisible force is at work. Hari's tactics exploit fear as much as marksmanship. He strikes again and again, his bullets precise, his movements untraceable. Smoke, dust, and shattered branches confuse the enemy, amplifying the illusion of multiple shooters. By late afternoon, more than 40 Japanese soldiers have been killed or incapacitated in the Fujian hills, many by the ghost bullets, many by their own panic-fueled mistakes. Hari Singh remains undetected, almost a myth within the chaos. His regiment watches in awe from distant ridges, understanding that a single man, armed with skill and cunning, has disrupted an entire enemy advance. Yet the danger is far from over. The Japanese command will not allow this humiliation to go unanswered. Reinforcements are moving through side paths and hidden trails, closing in on Hari's position. The forest seems alive, every rustle a threat. Hari must adapt, relocate, and continue the deadly game of hide and strike. Every choice now is life or death, not just for him, but for the soldiers depending on his actions to secure the northern Burma advance. A sudden crack echoes nearby. Hari freezes. A shadow moves between the trees. Someone knows he is there. The sniper's heartbeat accelerates, the calm calculation giving way to raw awareness. The enemy is no longer a distant target. They are hunting him, and Hari Singh, the man who became a phantom of the Burmese jungle, prepares for the next, most perilous act of his campaign. Late afternoon in the Fujian hills, and the dense jungle becomes a living trap. Hari Singh senses the change in the air, the faint, disciplined movements of fresh enemy troops. The Japanese reinforcements move cautiously along hidden trails, guided by officers determined to locate the sniper who has humiliated their earlier patrols. Hari understands that his previous ghost bullet tactic has bought him time, but the game is far from over. Every shadow could conceal a rifle barrel. Every rustle could be a lurking soldier. Hari relocates silently, slipping along a narrow ridge that overlooks a small clearing. The ground is soaked from recent rains, clinging to his boots, muffling his movement. Through the Lee-Enfield scope, he spots the first of the reinforcement units, a squad of 6 with light machine guns and rifles. They sweep the area methodically, their eyes trained on the jungle. Aware that something invisible is hunting them, Hari studies their formation. Their tide lines make them efficient but predictable. He knows patience is his ally. Rather than shooting immediately, he triggers a series of concealed charges along a fallen log and a nearby thicket. A sudden explosion rocks the clearing, throwing leaves and dirt into the air. Soldiers dive for cover, their weapons firing blindly. Confusion reigns. Hari takes careful aim at the exposed leader, the man who gestures frantically for his men to regroup. A single, precise shot drops him. The rest hesitate, unsure if the sniper is alone or supported by hidden comrades. Hari's mind calculates constantly. The Japanese are disciplined, but fear is an unpredictable variable. He moves swiftly from one vantage to another, using fog, smoke, and foliage to mask his progress. Another soldier raises his head to fire. A second well-placed shot sends him sprawling. The jungle echoes with sudden silence, punctuated only by distant cries and the snapping of branches under panicked boots. Hari becomes a ghost once more, an unseen force dismantling a disciplined army squad piece by piece. The enemy adapts, attempting flanking maneuvers through side trails. Hari anticipates their path, positioning himself on a steep incline above a narrow ravine. From this height, he has clear lines of sight and can control the battlefield's flow. He uses the terrain to amplify fear. Shadows stretch across the jungle floor, mist rolls through the trees, and the sound of distant explosions makes it seem as though more sharpshooters are present. Every shot reinforces the illusion of multiple attackers, each more deadly than the last. Hours pass. By twilight, the tally of Japanese casualties grows. Confusion and terror have disrupted the enemy's strategy. Hari Singh, the lone sniper of the 14th Punjab Regiment, has manipulated the battlefield with patience, skill, and cunning. Yet he is not invincible. The enemy will eventually adapt to fear. Reinforcements are still on the way, and the jungle's dense undergrowth offers as many hazards as concealment. Every decision he makes now could be his last. A sudden crack, a distant rifle report, not one of his own. Hari freezes. A faint silhouette moves along the ridge. Someone knows he is here. The hunter becomes the hunted. The night is falling, and the shadows lengthen. Hari Singh grips his rifle, scanning the darkness. The final phase of this deadly encounter is about to begin, and the jungle seems to pulse with anticipation. Night descends quickly over the Fujian hills. The jungle transforms. Shapes dissolve into darkness. Distance becomes uncertain. Sound travels in unpredictable ways, bending through fog and thick foliage. For Hari Singh, Night is both ally and executioner. The same darkness that conceals him can also hide the enemy closing in. He lowers himself into a shallow depression near the ravine. Earth cold against his chest, the silhouette he saw on the ridge confirms his fear. The Japanese have deployed counter-snipers. This is no longer scattered patrols reacting in panic. This is a coordinated hunt. Hari slows his breathing. He listens. Footsteps, soft, measured, trained. A flare suddenly ignites above the trees. White light floods the jungle for a brief second, freezing shadows into sharp contrast. Hari does not move. He becomes stone. A heartbeat later, gunfire erupts. Tracers slash through foliage. The Japanese are firing into suspected hiding spots, hoping to provoke a response. Hari waits. He knows returning fire now would reveal his position. The flare dies. Darkness returns. Silence follows but not relief. A faint click echoes nearby. A bolt sliding forward. Someone is close. Too close. Hari shifts his rifle millimeters at a time, aligning the iron silhouette in his scope. When the Japanese sniper rises to move, Hari fires once. The body collapses without a sound. No follow-up shot. No celebration. Hari relocates instantly, disappearing deeper into the ravine as return fire rips through his former position. Rain begins to fall, light at first, then heavier. Mud clings to boots. Visibility shrinks 2 meters. The Japanese attempt to use grenades to flush him out. Explosions thudding dully against wet ground. Shrapnel rips through trees. Hari feels bark splinter against his cheek. He presses on. The jungle absorbs the violence, swallowing sound and light alike. Using the slope and the rain-soaked earth, Hari circles behind the advancing unit. Their formation tightens in the darkness, exactly what he expects. He triggers a final series of charges along a narrow approach. Explosions ripple through the trees, disorienting the unit. Screams break the night. In the confusion, Hari fires selectively, never twice from the same place. Each shot reinforces the belief that they are surrounded by an unseen force. By midnight, the Japanese advance grinds to a halt. Casualties mount. Ammunition runs low. Fear replaces discipline. Officers shout orders that no longer carry authority. Somewhere in the darkness, Hari Singh is still alive and still controlling the battlefield. But exhaustion creeps in. His hands tremble slightly. His vision blurs. He has been awake and moving for nearly 2 days. Then he hears it again. Footsteps behind him. Not panicked, not rushed, deliberate. Someone has finally predicted his movement. Hari turns slowly, rifle raised, darkness pressing in from all sides. One mistake now will end everything. The jungle falls silent. The jungle is no longer chaotic. It is quiet in a way that feels intentional. Hari Singh senses it. Immediately. The Japanese are no longer reacting. They are thinking, learning, adapting. The scattered gunfire of panic has ended. In its place comes deliberate silence. That silence is the most dangerous sound of all. Hari remains motionless behind a fallen teak tree, rainwater pooling in the grooves of its bark. His breath is shallow. His muscles ache, stiff from hours of tension. Somewhere nearby, the deliberate footsteps return. Slow. Controlled. Not a patrol. One man, possibly 2, trained hunters now search for him, mirroring his own methods. A soft metallic clink reaches his ears. A bayonet brushing against a rifle sling. Close. Far closer than before. Hari shifts his weight just enough to angle the Lee Enfield toward the sound. He does not look through the scope. At this distance, iron sights are faster. More honest. A shadow breaks from behind a tree. Hari fires instantly. The Japanese soldier drops, but the shot answers its own question. Muzzle flashes erupt from the darkness. Bullets chew into the fallen log. Splinters tear into Hari's shoulder. Pain flares, sharp and burning, but he does not scream. He rolls downslope, sliding through mud as rounds crack overhead. He disappears into a shallow streamed, water swallowing sound and scent. Blood mixes with rain, vanishing downstream. Above him, Japanese soldiers converge on his last known position, convinced they have finally cornered the sniper, who has bled them for 2 days. Hari waits beneath the overhang of the bank, submerged to his chest, rifle held just above the waterline. Minutes pass. Then footsteps approach the stream, careful, methodical. An officer's voice murmurs commands. Hari spots movement. Through reeds. One soldier steps into the water. Another follows. Hari fires twice in rapid succession. Both fall before they can react. The survivors retreat instinctively, firing wildly. Their discipline fractures again, fear snapping what control remained. Hari emerges, ignoring the pain in his shoulder. He moves uphill now, forcing his injured arm to obey. He knows he cannot sustain another prolonged engagement. His ammunition is running low. His body is breaking down. But the Japanese do not know this, and he intends to keep it that way. Using his last charges, Hari sets a final deception along a ridgeline path. When the explosions tear through the jungle moments later, they sound massive, far larger than the reality. The Japanese believe an entire unit has engaged them. Orders are shouted. Withdrawal is discussed. Confusion spreads once more. From the shadows, Hari watches them falter. He has turned their strength against them, discipline into rigidity, confidence into fear. But as he prepares to slip away toward friendly lines, a single rifle shot cracks through the night. The bullet slams into the earth inches from his head. Hari freezes. One shooter remains, calm, patient, watching. The final confrontation is inevitable. The jungle holds its breath. Rain softens to a mist, and the sound of insects slowly returns. As if nature itself senses the end approaching, Hari Singh does not move. The bullet that struck the ground near his face was deliberate, measured. Not panic, not fear. The final Japanese shooter is skilled. Possibly an officer. Possibly another sniper. Hari shifts his weight just enough to change his silhouette. Pain pulses through his wounded shoulder, but he ignores it. He lowers his cheek to the stock of the Leonfield, letting instinct replace conscious thought. The jungle offers one advantage still remaining: sound travels unevenly. Hari listens, not with urgency, but with absolute focus. A breath, not his. A boot scraping stone. The enemy fires again. The shot passes where Hari had been seconds earlier. The shooter has guessed his movement but guessed wrong. Hari exhales once and fires. The recoil is sharp, final. The silhouette collapses behind a stand of bamboo, the rifle clattering into the wet earth. Silence follows. No return fire. No movement. The hunt is over. Dawn breaks slowly over the Shuijian hills. Fog lifts from the ravines, revealing the aftermath of 2 relentless days. Japanese units withdraw from the area. Their advance stalled, their command shaken. More than 40 soldiers lie dead or incapacitated across the jungle. Approaches not through overwhelming force, but through calculated deception, terrain mastery, and psychological collapse. Hari Singh emerges from the trees near friendly lines, exhausted, soaked, bleeding. He does not speak of what he has done. Reports list only numbers, locations, and outcomes. No mention of ghost bullets, no legend recorded. Just a disrupted enemy movement at a critical moment of the Burma Campaign. The advance continues, supplies move forward, positions are secured. The jungle closes over the battlefield, erasing footprints and shell marks alike. By war's end, names like Hari Singh fade into unit records and operational summaries. Men who altered the course of fights measured in miles, not glory. This is not a story of myth. It is a story of reality, where one soldier, one rifle, and one understanding of fear reshaped a battlefield. And when the jungle grew quiet again, only the dead truly knew what had hunted them.